Okay, then you create a new project. Okay, let me do the demo first, so that you can understand what we are going to achieve. Okay, so I just created this one for your demo. So you can see here the platforms are all different. The background is different. Okay, so we will try to create a new background, okay, using the tiles and as well as the platform also. In initial for the earlier platform game we created the simple one using the rectangle boxes. So instead of doing that, we will use some tiles and then we will try to implement inside our game. And also we will try to implement some sprites which can create the animations. Okay, like walk, then be idle, something like that. Okay, then jump. So these are the actions we will try to implement inside. And then you can see there is a enemy over here. Let me play again from the beginning. Okay, so the player has to move and you can see the enemy, right, is moving around this platform. Okay, you can see the enemy. This is the enemy which is moving on this platform. Move towards the left and then it's moved towards the right. Okay, so the player has to jump to the next platform and then he needs to jump on over the enemy so that the enemy can be destroyed and killed. Then he can just move on further. Okay, and then you can just move on to the next platform, and then for this one either you can just go and collide with the collectibles. Okay, and then you can move on to there are different collectible objects are there, different collections are there, so in each platform, and then you can just go and collect. Okay, so for you people, I just leave it to your way how you want to decide. Okay, uh, for example, I'm having a enemy over here. Okay, and then if you want to have one platform, one enemy, and another one might be a different enemy or a different collectibles, I just leave it to you to your own idea and how you want to make a design on your own platform game. But the main thing is actually in this platform game, we are just going to implement the background screen and then we try to implement the tiles as a platform and then the animations for the player using the sprites as well as for the enemy. Okay, so these are the things, the new things compared to the previous lab sheet, what we are going to see through. Okay, let me go to the slides now. This one you just ignore, the step 3 you just ignore. I will give you the sprites and everything. Okay, you can just use the sprites whatever I'm giving it to you. Okay, I will give the collection of all the assets, no worries. Okay, you just focus on only for the programming part. Okay, so you create a new project and set the viewport size to 1280 cross 720. Okay, so this one you know already how to do this one. Then you need to create the 3 layouts as usual. You need to come out with the gameplay, game win and game lose condition. Gameplay is the first scene, okay, where you are going to play your game. So for each layouts, we are going to have the related event sheets. The gameplay is actually for the gameplay. Then the ES game win is for the game win layout, and ES game lose, the event sheet is actually for the game lose. So this one also you people know how to do it. So once we have done, then in our the game play screen, you need to come out with the 2 layers. This one also we have done last week. Okay, the last week we created how to create the 2 layers we have seen. So you need to create the 2 layers under gameplay layout. Okay, let me show the screen. Okay, so you can just go to the gameplay. So under gameplay, so this is the gameplay scene. In this one, you are going to have 2 layers. One is game elements and another one is background. Okay, so the game elements, let me uncheck the background. Okay, so here you can see there is a player. Okay, the player is here. Okay, and then you can see there is a box over here. Okay, this one is the SPR player box. Okay, this box is actually called the player box. So the SPR player, when I create the player, right? Okay, this is the player, the sprite. When I create this player, this SPR player is going to follow this SPR player box. Okay, the player is going to follow the player box. So that's why when I launch the game, automatically the SPR player is in the position of the SPR player box. And you can see the enemy, the platform was there, the second platform, and then the third platform and the fourth platform. I haven't completed the project, so you people need to complete the project. Okay, so I uncheck this one now. So when you are inserting the objects, make sure that the game objects related to the player, enemy, then the SPR player box, as well as the collectibles. Okay, the SPR pickup and then the SPR pickup 2. Okay, so these are all the collectibles are there. So you need to decide and you do your design according to your ideas. I just leave it to you. No need to follow me. You can just create your own way based on your ideas, own ideas. Okay. So once you are done, mainly you need to come out with the background. So you need to create a background scene, and then you need to include the platform. So this one we are going to do it using the tiles. So this is a different way how we are going to implement to make the background as well as the tile. So let me move on to the next slide. So once you created the 2 layers, okay, you need to go to the background layer, insert new object as usual, right click, insert new object, select the tiled background. Okay, so let me show you the assets for you people. Okay, so this one has got the background. Okay, so you can just set the background whichever you want. Okay, I just leave it to you. Whichever you want to select, you can just choose. I will give the collection everything as an asset zip file. Everything will be there inside. So you can just decide on which background you need to set up. So once you choose, and then when you need to name it as a bkg_tile, import the background sprite and set the size to 4000 and 2048, set position to 0,0. So when you are coming out, let me choose the tile background. Okay, so you set accordingly whatever the properties I have given. Okay, so you can just follow this one and then you set up. Once you created the background, now we are going to create the platforms. Okay, so for creating the platform, you need to select the background layer again, insert new object, select title map, insert new object, then you need to select the tile map. Let me go in. Okay. Now you are in the background, right? So I just right click, insert new object. Okay, let me choose the game win first, gameplay first. Okay, so now I go in here, then I right click, insert new object, then you look for the tile. Okay, TILE. So you can see there is a tile background. So this is the first one you need to set up for your background screen. Okay, once you choose the tiled background, then you need to choose the background from your PNG file and you can set the background. Now, for setting the platforms, you need to choose the tile map. Okay, so you need to choose the tile map. Once you have chosen the tile map, okay, let me go through here, cancel this one. Okay, I have a tile map over here. You can see I created here. Okay, so the thing is actually how it happens is, let me choose one more. I create one more, insert new object, then tile map. Okay, might be I make it as a tile map 2. Okay, then I insert. Okay, so then I click, then you will be seeing this particular background screen. Okay, when you want to set the background, you must have downloaded all the assets, right? You go to your location and you will be seeing all your assets. Okay, let me choose the assets. Okay, for the background, you can just choose the background, click this one, and then you can open, then you can set the background. But now we are going it for the tiles, for creating the tiles actually. Okay, so in this case, actually, I just go inside the tile sheet. You can see there is a tile sheet over here. You go to tile sheet complete.png. Use this one to create the platform. So click on this one and then open. So you will be getting like this. So what you can do is, once you get you decide which one you want to set it as a platform. Okay, for me, I just chosen this part and then I set it as a platform. But if you want to make it as a different one, for example, if you want to set this one, okay, then you can set the one as your platform. For example, let me choose this one. Okay, I choose this one. Then I choose that particular part which I want to make it as a platform. Then you click on the crop. So you will be getting this one. Okay. If you want to resize, you can just click on the resize to make it bigger immediately. Okay. So if you want to, okay, let me resize to the double size. Okay. So what I will do is 128 times 2 is 256. Okay, then this one is 65 plus 65 is 130. Okay, just try to multiply by 2, then you just make it size bigger. Okay, so once you are done, you close this one. Okay, then you will be able to see the tile map 2 over here. So you click on this, the tile map 2, then you can see at the bottom right, there will be a tile map 2 will be there. Now you are pointing at the layers properties. Once you choose the tile map 2 after creation, you click over here, then you will see the object over here. So what you need to do is you need to click on this mouse icon, normal layout. You click on it, then you choose the whole object. Okay. Then you click on the pencil. Okay, click on it, then you just drag it over here. Suppose say you want to bring it over here like this, then you just go and click it and then you can just make it like this. Okay, then you can click like this, and like this. Okay. So you can just place based on your ideas, you can just place wherever you want to do it. Okay, so like that you can decide which platform you want to do the setup. Okay, so let me do it again so that you can know. Just hold on. I redo again so that you people can know already. Okay, make sure that you're under the background layer. Okay, so now you right click, you insert new object, then you look for the tile. Okay, then you choose for setting the background, the first one, right? This one. For this one, you need to choose the tiled background. You need to choose the tiled background for creating this one. Okay, so now we are going to do for the platforms. So for this one, what you need to do is you need to right click and then you need to choose the tile map. So I just choose tile map 2. Then I insert. Okay. So I insert now, then we created the tile map already. So I click over here. Then you will be getting the tile map. So now you just go in. I will be giving you the assets. So you must choose the tile sheet complete, which will be mentioned inside over here. Import tile sheet complete.png. So you need to click on this one. Okay, click OK. So now you decide among this one, which one you want to make as a platform. For me, currently, I chosen this one, this part. Okay, if you want to decide whichever you want, you can decide and you can do it. Okay, for me, okay, let me choose another one. Okay, suppose say if I just want to choose this one. Okay, so you just go click here. Click on this rectangle box, then you come here, you choose the whichever portion you want to set it as a platform. You choose the one, then you click on the crop icon. Okay, so you just make it as a, click on this one, then you need to set the size of your platform. Okay, so you need to make okay, I want to make it bigger, so that's why I'm just making, in case after you bring it to your layer, if the size of your platform is very small, then you can come back here and you can do resizing of your object. So that's why I'm doing it now itself. I just multiply by 2 both. Okay, then I click OK so that it can be bigger. Then now I close it. Once you are done, you need to choose the tile map to what we have created, and in the property you can see here there is a tile map 2 is here. You need to click on the one. Okay, then you will be able to see the image already. So now you need to select the complete picture. So you can click on the mouse icon and then you can just choose the picture. Then you choose the pencil for drawing lines and then you can just bring it over here. It's not perfect class, so you need to redo again. So like this, you can duplicate and you can have different platforms. And on this platform, either you want to set it as the enemy to walk over there, or you want to make the collectibles, items must be there. It's up to you. How you want to make your design, I leave it to you. So far we learn how to set the background using the tiled background, and we learn how to set the platform images using the tiled background. Okay, so that's what I demo how to do it. So you can design your own map with the tiles, whichever you want to use, you just use it. Any questions on this, guys? Okay, so I just go delete this one now. I don't want this one, so I just delete it. Okay. Okay, so now we will move on to the next step. We are going to bring in the animation, the player, okay, the sprites. So as usual, for this one, what you need to do is you need to go to the screen, and then now we are going to set the game elements related to the player and as well as the collectibles or the enemy. So I uncheck this one. Okay, then I will, okay, this one. I'm having some error over here. Okay, let me choose again. Okay, so I uncheck this one, the background. Then you can choose the game elements layer so that you can insert all the game elements. Okay, the player, enemy, and the items. Okay, so as usual, right click, insert new object. Then you bring in the SPR player. You need to bring in the SPR player over here. Then you need to create the enemy. Okay, the SPR enemy you can create. Okay, and then the collectibles also. Okay, when you are bringing the SPR player, we are going to implement the animation also. So what we are going to do is you need to go over the, okay, let me go inside. Okay, so when you're creating the sprite, right, you know that we will be creating the sprite, choosing the sprite, and then you need to choose the player. Let me go to the assets. Okay, so the assets, you can see there is a player folder here. So you need to go to the player folder. Then you can choose the player. There are different actions are there. Okay. So for me, I will just choose the idle one as a player blue up one. Okay. So I will use this one just like a standing image. So I will use this one and then I can just bring it over inside my project. Okay. So once I have done, once I brought in one sprite over inside, then you double click this one. Okay, when you double click this one, automatically there will be the player, the animation editor will be appearing for you, and you will be seeing the first one what you have inserted. The other two it won't be there lah. Okay, this one is a completed one, that's why you are able to see. Okay, let me redo so that you people won't get confused. I will just go here, insert new object. Then I look for the sprite. Okay, then I choose the sprite. Then might be I will choose SPR underscore player. For me, I have the player already, so I just give SPR player 2. So I just give, then I insert. So now I just go here. Okay, then I move on to the, okay, to the player. Then I choose the player up 1. Then I, okay. So now you can see the player has been there. And in the animation frames, there is only one item is there. Only one sprite is there. And then we are in the animation clip, we have created only one animation. So what I can do is, I can just right click, I rename this one as a walk. Okay, when I change this one as a walk, automatically the frame name is also changed. Okay, so now I right click here one more time. Then you need to choose import frames from files. Okay, under this section, you need to rename the animation first. Once you set the renaming, you come over here for the walk frames. You right click, import frames. Then you choose the from files. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to choose walk 1. Okay, I click OK. So now once again I right click, import frames, then from files. Now I choose walk 2. Okay, so now I right click again, import frames, from files. Now I choose walk 4. Also, okay, I choose the 3. Okay, I just stop over here. So I included some sprites over here. Okay, so now all these sprites, I need to assign it to the walk animation. Okay, so I need to choose all like this. Okay, and then you need to apply to the animation. So how to do this one? Okay, let me show you how to do. So once you have done, on this slide, we came in and then we created the SPR player, we import frame files and we created already. Okay, so now we rename already the walk, the animation to walk. So you can just go here and you can preview your animation. Okay, you can see there is a play button here. Okay, the preview button, you click on it. You can see the animation restart. Okay, so if you want to increase the speed, then you can just change over here. Okay, I increase to 10. So now you can preview again. So you can just play around with the animation and you can set accordingly how you want to do. Suppose say I want to keep it as a loop. So I just click loop, then I preview again. So according to your own ideas and requirement, you can just play around and you can see what you want to do. So this way actually you can just create a simple animation. Okay, any doubts so far? Okay, shall I proceed?
Yeah.
Okay, can. Thank you. So I just move on to the next step. So now you need to select the frame 0 and select the crop transparent edges. Click the download arrow and select apply to animation. Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay, you need to choose this one. Okay, you need to choose this one. Select the frame 0 and select the crop, the transparent edges. Sometimes you can have a small portion. So why we are doing this is because later when the player is going to collide with another object, another enemy or obstacles or items. So we need to make sure the edges are proper. So we try to make the edges to be sharp, that one, so that it won't affect our, when it goes and collide with the other object. It must look like it goes and collide. So that's why make sure that the edges are exactly perfect around the object. Okay, so you can just crop accordingly. You just go back here. Okay, and then you can crop it. Okay, I can choose here. Then you can just choose apply to frame and apply to animation. Accordingly, you can adjust the cropping so that you can adjust and apply to the animation. Okay, so once you have done this one, now select the game elements layer. Okay, insert the new sprite. These are all the things we have done already. Rename to walk. Okay, this one. Okay, the next step is actually, you know that this one is the game player is actually based on the walking. That means the position of the player is based on its legs. Okay, so that's why we need to usually the position of the game object, that is 0, 0 will be usually when we insert any sprite images, it will be center of the sprite. Okay, so in this case actually we just need to set it as the bottom, center bottom. So in this one you can just click on this icon, okay, to change the origin. Okay, you need, I think you people know, the art students, okay, you must be knowing for setting the origin for the game objects, okay, for the asset. So you need to click on this icon to set the origin, and then we can choose quick assign to bottom, so that you can see there is a small bubble kind of thing is here. You can see, let me go and do it. Okay, I choose this one. Then I click on this icon. Then you can see the image points. So you can right click, then quick assign. Then you can set it as a bottom. Then you can see here the origin has been set to the bottom of that particular image. So like this you need to do for all the images, all the sprites you need to set up. Why? Because the position of this player is based on the particular walking style. So that's why I just set it over there. Okay. So now once we have done that one, once we finish all these, we need to right click, apply to the whole animation. You need to follow this instruction, right click and then apply to the whole animation, so that it can be happen for the, when we are playing, it can be there for the whole animation. Okay, so we just now created a walking style of the animation, the walking animation using the sprites. Similarly, we need to do the same thing for idle, jump and fall. I just leave it to you. Okay, the assets are here. Okay, you can just see here there is a walking is there. Okay, then you can see whichever is jumping, you can see the falling is there. So you can just use these things to make it look like it falls actually. Okay, you need to use the combinations, and then you can preview the animation and you can decide which one you want to use. Let me go and show mine. I close this one. The SPR player 2 I remove. I don't want this one. This one I created to show to you people how I'm doing it. Okay, so now I go to the SPR player again. Now I go to the idle animation. For idle animation is only one I have chosen. Okay, and then for the jump I'm using the 3 animations over here. Okay, this one, you just go and choose whichever you like lah. Then you can just see whether it looks like a jumping. Okay, so you can just play around and see. So similarly then for falling, this is for falling down. Okay. No need to follow me. You can just apply whichever animation you think is perfect on your own ideas is okay with me. So once you create all the animations, you need to create walk, idle, jump and fall. You need to create all the 4. Okay. So once you have done all the 4, okay, you need to access the game elements. Then now you are going to create a sprite, insert new object sprite and rename it as SPR player box. Set the size to 64,64 and set the origin to bottom. Is exactly the same thing you need to follow. So this time you need to create a rectangle sprite. Okay, you are going to create a player box. Okay, add in the platform, scroll. These are the 2 behaviors you need to apply to the SPR player box. This one you people must be knowing already how to do this one. Then there is a property called initially visible. This property you need to uncheck. Okay, so I go back here. I created the SPR player box. Okay, you can choose the whichever you want. Okay, inside the assets you just go and then you can choose whichever you want to use as the boxes, the colors or whatever might be. You can choose, or you can just create your own. Okay, the rectangle box you can just choose whichever you want. It's not here. You can create on your own. Okay, so once you created, okay, once you create the box or the SPR player box over here. Okay, you have created this one. Okay, now the properties, as I said, you need to include the platform behavior. The platform behavior and the scroll to behavior you need to do, and then you need to, there is the initially visible, this one you need to uncheck so that when we start our game it won't be there, it is invisible. Okay, so these 3 things you need to follow. Okay, and then you can set the origin to bottom. That one is under the animation. Okay, you just double click. Then you can see right click here, then quick assign bottom. So this is the one which we applied for animation. Exactly the same thing you can apply for the SPR player box also. Okay, so once we have done this one, okay, I given you the reference for the properties for the player box. Okay, the platform, the scroll to I given you, and okay, then the default control is okay, not the default controls. Initially visible is the here, is here. Okay, all these you need to set up. So once we have done this one, we move on further down. So now I'm going to create a first event. The first event is for every tick. For everything means for every seconds, the SPR player is going to set the position to SPR player box image 0.0. That means wherever the SPR player box is there, the SPR player is going to be there. It's just going to follow throughout the game. Okay, the SPR player, for every second, the SPR player is going to follow the SPR player box. So the SPR player box is here, but the SPR player is here. So when I launch the game, you see the SPR player is here. Earlier it was over here. Why? Because now it is here, is because of this event. Because the SPR player is following the SPR player box. The SPR player box is here in this position. So that's why it is starting from there. Why we are doing this one is because when the SPR player, right, this animation, when it goes, sometimes the image can be smaller, sometimes it can be bigger, but the enemy can be smaller or bigger. The items collections can be different sizes also. When we go and collide, right, then it cannot be destroyed. The action required for collections, it may not happen. Okay, so that's why usually in the game for the construct tool, what they will do is they will create a box over here. Okay, which is invisible. They set it to invisible, and whatever animation we are having, right, that animation will be following this box. It is mainly for the collision activities. Okay, so once we have done this event, now we are going to use the keyboard, okay, to move the player. Okay, add in the keyboard object, add in relevant events and actions. So you need to choose the keyboard. When we press the left arrow, the SPR player is set mirror. Okay, set mirror means, okay, let me start the game again. Okay, now I move to I'm using the left key. You can see the eyes are moving to the left. When I press the right key, it is moving to the right. The eyes can move to the right because of the animation. So we need to make sure the object is facing left side or right side. So that's why to achieve this one, this is the event we are using. Okay, we are using this event. Okay, set mirror and set not mirror based on the left arrow key and right arrow key. Okay, so I have given the demo already. So now similarly you need to come out with the other relevant events. Okay, when the player is going to be on the platform on stop condition, it has to be in the idle state. That's why when I launch, when I never press anything, you can see the idle state is being displayed. When the SPR player needs to jump, then you need to set the animation to jump. Then when the SPR player is going to fall, platform on fall, then it has to be like the falling state, falling animation. If it is going to just stand, then it has to be in the idle state. Okay, and then when the thing is moving, it is just like a child event of idle state. That's why the walking has been, even though they create it, then you can just make it as a child event so that it is following the idle event accordingly. So I just go here, I click on the ES gameplay. Okay, so we have done until this one. Okay, might be I will just choose one of them, then I will just go back. You can know already. Okay, cancel. Let me choose this one. Okay, so I'm choosing the SPR player. Okay, when the SPR player is actually on platform, you need to choose platform animation triggers. You need to choose on stop. Then next. Okay, so now this one. Okay, I choose the SPR player. Okay, when the SPR player box is actually on the platform, then the SPR player we need to choose. Then we need to choose the one as a set animation. Okay, under animation you need to choose set animation. Then next you need to choose the animation idle. Please make sure that you are giving the animation name in the double quotes. And then you need to choose from beginning, from the beginning of the game. So then done. So like this, you can set up all the events accordingly. Why we are doing this one is because the SPR player is following the SPR player box. So that's why we need to follow all these actions wherever the SPR player box moves. That means your SPR player is also moving into that particular action. Okay. Any doubts so far until the action 8?
Do we have to submit this by today?
Okay, I know that it's difficult for you to complete it by today lah. So I give you 2 days lah. So by tomorrow 5 p.m. try to submit lah. Is it okay with you all?
It's fine with me, but is it fine for the rest of the class?
Yes, fine with me also.
Okay. So by tomorrow you try to submit lah. It's okay with me. Yeah. Okay. I know it will take some time. No worries lah. No worries. Yeah. Okay. So now next one is, you know that the player is going to collide with the SPR enemy. You in our game. Okay. The enemy is over here. And you can know that the enemy is walking here and moving here both sides. Okay, when it reaches the corner of the platform, it moves back again. Okay, so you need to do that particular setup. So for the one how we can achieve, let me go through. Okay, add in the relevant sprite for enemy, the SPR enemy. Add in the flash behavior, the enemy sprite. Okay, so what you need to do is you just go in, add in the SPR enemy. Right click on your gameplay. Okay, on the game elements. Okay, then you need to insert the sprite and then you need to choose the SPR enemy. Okay, and then you need to create the walk action for the enemy also. Okay, I made it very simple. Okay, so you can just do like that. If you want to set it to a different one, I just leave it to you. So you can just set the animation for the enemy. Okay, so once you have done, okay, after you create the enemy sprite, the animation, now you need to set the thing. Okay, so add in the relevant events and then actions relevantly. Okay, so now you need to go to the SPR player. The SPR player is nothing, the SPR player box. The SPR player box is going to collide with the enemy. The SPR player box is going to collide means you know that the SPR player is actually following the SPR enemy. So that's why instead of SPR player, we are using the SPR player box. For all the actions dependent on the SPR player, you need to use the SPR player box. Okay, so the SPR player box on collision with SPR enemy. SPR player box, when it is falling right, that means it has to go and jump and it has to fall on the enemy. Then the SPR enemy will be destroyed. Okay, let me launch and show you. I go here. Okay, I jump. Then I go to the other platform. I just wait. I just go. See, it is not destroyed, but if I just go and jump on it, then in that case, actually the enemy will be destroyed. Okay, so it has to jump over the enemy. Otherwise, it will not be destroyed. So to set up this action, what we are doing is we are having the SPR player box. SPR player platform is falling, then SPR enemy can be destroyed. Okay, and this one is actually for setting the SPR player to travel when it jumps after destroying, right? There is a jumping movement for the SPR player. So how far it has to jump? So the one actually I'm setting the y-axis to be minus 550 so that it looks after destroying the enemy. It is just going up beyond. Like for example, if someone is jumping on another object, that means they have to pop up, okay, to go to the heights and then they will come down. Exactly the same action we are trying to achieve over here to make sure that after you destroy, when you jump on the SPR enemy, then you just go up and then you come down and land on the platform. That's why we are giving this action. Okay, so let me show you again this one at this particular action. I just go over here. I play. I just go, then I just jump. You see immediately it is jumping. For example, suppose say I go to the ES gameplay, then I edit. I edit instead of minus 550, I just change it to 1050 so that it can go to the longer height. Okay, I just play again. You see now it is going beyond based on the setting which I given based on the y-axis. Okay, so it will just go up according after hitting the enemy. It can go and raise the heights. That's why you can just play around with this value and then you can change accordingly. Okay. So now I think you must be able to understand why what we are doing is action. Okay, then we need to set up the flash. I told you we need, that means when we are walking, right, when the player is walking, okay, just go up, then when I go and touch the thing, you can see it is flashing, the enemy is flashing. Okay, so how to achieve this one? That means when the SPR player goes and collide with the SPR enemy, but they are not falling, it is not falling. So in that it will go to the else condition because it is not jumping on the SPR enemy. So in this case, the SPR enemy needs to set the flash. Okay, so how to set it? You can just choose the under flash, you can choose the flash. You need to select the SPR enemy. Then you need to choose the flash and then you need to give the values. Okay, you can play around with these values also. You see how it looks like. Okay, you can set the value and then you can do it. So this is the one what we are doing. Okay, so we have done this part. Can I move to the next slide?
Yeah, Acha.
Okay, you the enemy movement settings. Okay, for the enemy movements, you know that the enemy is moving automatically. I am not controlling the enemy. The AI is controlling the enemy. How to control? By the program itself. Because we are the player, we are just controlling the SPR player. I don't want to control the enemy. In that case, I need to uncheck the default controls for the enemy object. So here you can see there is a default control. Default control means when I use the left arrow, right arrow, up arrow like that, the enemy can move also. So I don't want to do that because I'm using the keyboard to control my player. I'm not going to control my enemy. So in this case, I need to uncheck the default controls. And then I need to achieve its own movement, right? I need to have a variables. So I need to create a instance variable. I need to create an instance variable and then name it as a state and then name the variable as a state and the value should be right. Okay, and then we need to set the platform behavior. You need to set the platform behavior for the SPR enemy. Okay, so now I go back here. I choose the SPR enemy. Okay, so under SPR, we have given the platform behavior, and then the, okay, this one, okay, the default controls are under platform. You can see the default controls. You need to uncheck this one. And then how to create the instance variable. You can see there is a add and edit instance variable. You need to click on this and then add new instance variable. Then you need to give the name as state. This is the name you need to give it as a state, and the type you need to choose as a string, and then you need to give the value as write. RIGHT you need to give. So like this you can set the state. Okay, you can create an instance variable to be write. That means you are making, when the play is going to be start, right, the player is going to walk towards the right direction, something like that. Okay, so once we done this one, right, we are going to add in two transparent sprite object, the right edge box and left edge box. Okay, and we are going to place near the enemy. It is also invisible. Okay, we need to set it to invisible. These two set on the left and right. Why? Because the enemy, when it moves on the near the enemy, it is also invisible. Okay, we need to set it to invisible. These two set on the left and right. Why? Because the enemy, when it moves on the platform, right, when it goes and near the right edge of the platform, then when it collides with the right edge, then it turns back. Then it comes over, walks towards the right. When it touches the left edge box, when it collides, then it will turn right again and then it walks. But these two boxes are invisible. That's why when I launch my game, there are two boxes here. One box is here and another box is here on the right side. When it goes and touches that box, it walks towards the left. And there is a invisible box is over here. When it goes and touches the other box, then it moves towards the right and it walks over. Let me show you on the layout. Okay, the SPR left box, you can see here, the box is here, and then the SPR right edge box is here. So that's why when the animation, the enemy goes here, when it touches the right edge, then it turns back. Similarly, when it goes and touches the left side, then it turns towards the right. Okay, so this is what is happening. So how to achieve this one, we will see now. Okay, so you need to place these two boxes. Add events for the enemy to movement left to right and right to left automatically. Okay, this one uncheck the initially visible. I told you already, this one you need to uncheck for both the boxes so that when we launch our game, it won't be there. Okay, so it is there, but it is invisible. So now for SPR enemy, when the state is left, okay, when the state is left, the SPR enemy needs to walk towards the left. So set the simulate platform pressing to left. So the SPR enemy to set mirror. Similarly, when the state is right, then we need to simulate the SPR enemy simulate platform pressing right. So you just based on the state, the movement will happen for the SPR enemy. When the SPR enemy goes and collide with the left edge box, then you need to change the state to right so that the SPR enemy can move towards right. When it goes walks right, then it touches the right edge box. When it touches the right edge box, then it has to turn left. So that's why when the SPI enemy on collision with the right edge box, the SPI enemy, the state, we need to set it to left. When the state is changed to left, automatically the SPI enemy, this event will get fired. So it will start walking towards the left. Okay, are you able to understand these events, guys? Any doubts in this event? Anyone? Okay, let me show you on the event sheet. Okay, I just edit it over here. Okay, so you need to choose the SPI enemy. Okay, SPI enemy. Then this is the one. Sorry. Okay, so the SPI enemy. Then now I press next. Okay, you need to go under platform. Under platform, you need to simulate control. You need to choose simulate. Under platform, you need to simulate control. Then press next. Then you need to choose left. Which direction? You need to choose left and done. Similarly for this one. Okay, you need to give like this. Okay, choose the SPI enemy. Then on collision with another object, this one you know already. So then next, then you need to set the state. The state you need to choose, the instance variable you need to choose. You need to choose the instance, compare the instance variable. Choose the instance, compare instance variable. SPI enemy. You need to choose the SPI enemy, then you need to choose the compare instance variable. Then automatically since you have created the instance variable, it will be shown over here. So you need to choose the state equal to, then you need to give the value like this with double quotes. Okay. Then you need to press done. So you will be able to see this one. Then you just follow this action. And then this one we have seen already how to do. This one let me show you again. Okay. You need to set mirror under appearance. You choose the SPI enemy first. SPI enemy. Then set mirror under appearance. You must go look for set mirror. Then choose next. Then you need to choose mirror. This one has got two options, mirror and not mirrored. Okay, so you need to follow this action for these two. Okay, and then we have seen this one. This one is for the collision. Okay, the SPI enemy on collision with another object. You must choose the collision with another object. You must choose the SPI left edge box. Then SPI enemy. Then set the state to. Okay, SPI enemy. Then you need to choose the set in the instance value under instance variable, because this one the right is a variable. Okay, the state is a variable. So you need to set the value under instance variable, set value, click next. Then you need to choose which variable it is. You can choose it is only one currently we created. Then you need to give the value. So then this one can be implemented. Okay, so are you able to understand? So this one is actually for the movement of the enemy object, moving to left and moving to right. So these four actions, the events we must create for the SPI enemy to move. Any doubts in this one, guys? Okay, I move on further down. Okay, so most of the things, okay, we completed almost everything. So now the last one is SPR player on collision with SPR pickup. That is, we have seen the the collection items, right? The pickup 1 and pickup 2. You can add in some more pickups also. If you want to add one more enemy also can, I just leave it to you. Okay. So when it goes and collides with the SPR pickup, then you destroy the SPR pickup. I'm not going to use the jumping and all. Just go and collide with it. The SPR player box, when it goes and collides with the SPR pickup, then the SPR pickup will be destroyed. Similarly, when the SPR player box, when it collides with the SPR pickup 2, then the SPR, the pickup, the number 2 will be destroyed. That's why when we just go in, when you can see, I think you must have seen already. So I just go up again. Okay, so I just move on to the next platform. Then I just go and touch. When I collide with the item, then it goes, then the other item also destroy. It disappear. So this is what we are doing for this lab. Okay. So once I given you the overall, all the events and actions, the complete actions I given you for your reference. Okay, it's just a continuation over here. Okay, this one is number 13, the last action. So now, and from here you can just follow from 13 over here. Okay, 13, 14, 15. So I have and okay, one more thing. What you can do is you can set up a score. Okay, you can set up a global variable. This one we have done in the previous lab. So you can set up a score for your, that means when it touches a particular object. Suppose say when it touches the first one, then you can increase the score to 10. Suppose for this one you want to give the points as 20. Then when it touches this one, the score will raise up to 20. Something like that you can just add on. So when the condition reaches 100, you must go to the winning scene. I have not designed the winning scene. Okay, the game win and game lose, you can design. In the previous lab, we have done that one. So you can follow the one and you can create the game win and game lose scene. Okay. So then for the same, the game lose attacks, add in a global variable for the lives and set it to 3. When the enemy attacks the player, decrease the value for lives variable and restart the gameplay. That means you need to do the changes based on this action. Okay, when for the else condition, it is flashing, right? In this case, you can add one more action. That means the enemy has not, the player, the SPR player doesn't destroy the SPR enemy. This is the else condition. So you can add in one more condition so that your life can go down to from level 3 to 2. Initially, when we can have a global variable, just like score, you can have the life. Okay, for the life, you can set the maximum value as 3. So under the flash, actually, you can just add one more action so that your life value can go down. Sorry, I think my neighbor. I think my neighbor is doing something lah. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so you can try it out for the winning and losing condition if you want. Okay. And then you can include the particle effect also, which we have done in our previous lab. When it goes and collides with the pickup 1 and pickup 2, if you want to add in the particle effect, you can just do it. It's this one is an optional one. The step 22, I just leave it. Try to do the winning and losing condition lah. Okay. So once you are done, you test your game. Just publish it in the web format, and also try. I need the actual file. Okay, the actual file in the sense you need to submit your project file, the construct file. The construct file, what I have created, you can just submit it to me as a zip file. Once you are done. Okay, any doubts? Is it possible for you people to complete it by tomorrow? Or you need some more days?
I think one extra day, just in case.
Sorry, one more day, isn't?
Yeah, just one extra day.
Then in that case, can I extend until Monday evening? Is it okay with you all?
Yeah, sure. That should
Okay.
be more
Please
than
make
enough.
sure you complete because next week is going to be the last week before the vacation, and next week we will be doing one more lab sheet lah. Okay. So next week on the lab sheet 8 is going to be there after the vacation when we come back, right? The first week I want you during the vacation, please try whenever you get time lah, not don't, of course you take rest during the vacation, but whenever you get some time, do some revision on all the labs so that when you come back on the we will do one revision class for all the lab sheets. If you have any doubts or anything, something like that, we will just go through. And then the second week of our term, I mean in January, then we will be having your practical tests already. Okay, so during the vacation, please try to use your time and try to practice all the lab sheets. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so anyone is having any queries or anything you want to clarify with me now? Let me download the attendance. Okay. Let me check the attendance also. Okay, 4 of them haven't marked. Can you please help to mark the attendance now? Okay, go inside the MS Teams, then inside the channel you can see there is a link I given already lah. Okay, so can you please go now before we end the lesson? Can you mark your attendance? The 4 of them who haven't marked your attendance. I think 38 is the number of students. Yes, correct. Yeah. Unable to access. I don't think so. All 34 were able to do it. Yeah, you see just now it goes up to 35. So that means it is accessible. It is accessible. So can you go look for under web game production for today's lesson? You can see here, you just go above the meeting. Above the meeting, then you can see the link already. Just go above the meeting, then you can see the link over there. Okay, still 3 more haven't responded. Is okay. Please mark your attendance before you quit It says currently not accepting response. Okay, Jovius, can you wait? You just be here. Others, let me download the attendance list. Okay, those who don't have any queries, okay, let me release the lab sheet first. I just go here, then, okay. So I go to the lab sheet 7, then the assets are here. So go to the module learning plan, go to practicals, go to lab sheet 7. Then you can see the slides are over here, and then the assets, the zip file is over here. You can just download. Okay, I will enable the submission also now. Okay, the lab 7 submission is open. I will just keep it open. Okay, no worries. Try to complete it before Monday. Okay, during the weekend, if you get time, I think initially it may look very difficult, but it is not. Once you try to do it, I think you must be able to do it. No issues. Okay. So if no other queries, if you don't have any other queries, you can quit now. I see you all next week.
All right, bye, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you.